Hello, guys. How are you doing today? Season greetings to everybody. Happy holidays. Welcome to the show Farmer Up TV once again, where we talk about everything agriculture. And today we're going to be talking about an interesting part of agriculture, which is done differently in Nigeria. And we're going to have a guest on here who is also making waves and doing things differently, not the natural way it's being done in Nigeria. Normally, we know anything that has to do about cattle is done precisely by a certain part of Nigeria where they do it differently than every other place in the world. But we're going to be talking to a special guest today, who's going to be joining us anytime from now. And he's going to give us an idea of how we can do it differently and also make an headway out of things. Like I said, welcome once again to Farmer Hub TV. And we have someone very special on the show who is in the name of Kolawole Bashir. He's a renowned agricultural business person, and he's going to be talking to us about the production of cattle rearing. Um, so let's get on the show, and we're going to play the intro, and we're going to welcome him back on the show right now. Hi, welcome back once again. I already have my guest on online who is logged in as well. Like I said, he's going to be talking to us about the business of cattle production. He's gone through everything. Is the trials, the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. So he's going to be in the best interest person to actually give us some kind of knowledge on his journey towards doing business in Nigeria. We all have to understand that Nigeria is a different country. Things are done differently in Nigeria. So for him to be doing this, it's really something that we need to talk about and share with everybody. So welcome, Mr. Kolawole Bashir.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We're welcome. Our show basically is it's not a question and answer show. It's more of a conversation. So we're going to be talking about everything. So yeah, we're going to ask you some questions, but we also don't want you just give us the normal answers where straight out of the book. We want to actually to dig into your experience and tell us what you've gone through, how things really needs to be, and what the way you've been able to achieve things and do better. So can you just please introduce yourself better than I know I won't do justice to it. So I would love if you could introduce yourself to us.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to apologize first for this poor feasibility. It's just because I have a lot of things to do and I need to drive back home. So I'm just leaving my work, then going back home. So
Wow, thank you
I
so
really
much for
apologize for that.
no, we thank you
Mm,
for even giving us the time to
So,
to talk to us.
um, as you said, I'm Kolawole Bashir, and I run two farms in Nigeria. Rosecroft, which is jointly owned by my cousin, and BMK Farm, which is uh, personally mine, which that one is predominantly for sheep, and the Rosecroft is predominantly for cattle. So I started with the high hope of everything. Like any other business, there's a lot of risk in it, and for me, it wasn't even about the profit or anything. It's a kind of business, passion driving business for me. Because if you're going into farming, most especially animal husbandry, it could be difficult for you if only thing you are calculating is profit. If you
Yes.
don't have the passion, so when thing goes down, you will definitely run away. And to every success, you pass through certain things. So if you don't have the passion for it, for the animal you have, if you are not directly involved in day-to-day activities of those animals and keeping them, then definitely you will run away from it because it's
Yeah.
not as people say that, oh, you buy the cow today, you keep it for 2 months, 70,000, you sell it 200,000. It doesn't make sense. This is not, but is you have to have you need to have this local knowledge regardless of wherever you're coming from, because like they said in London, they said never ignore the local knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, those people, they have the way they do things,
They do things.
but you have the knowledge that you've already acquired. It is now left to you to know how to choose the best part of both worlds and match it together. Because if you can't mix it together, then you will be in problem. I can give you when I wanted to start my farm, I visited a lot of farms around Europe. So I took a lot of structure in mind and everything. When I started, and people say that, oh, this is too much. Why are you building all this thing for just cow? Why will you? No, the cow they like to stay in the rain, so you don't have to spend that much on it. But that is not my own vision. They are telling you their own vision. So you need to be able to say that, okay, this is the way. But at the same time, you don't want to insult people.
Yeah.
You welcome their ideas at times. But if you are going to refuse the other ideas, you let them know that, oh, this is the reason that I'm not going to do this. So, and getting into the business, first thing you need to know is the locations. So after you get the proper land, you acquire it maybe through the government or your own personal acquisition. So
Yeah.
after you get that in the area that you know that is not that, it depends on the quantity that you want to go into. If you have this vision that you are planning to have up to 200, 300 cattle in futures, you know the kind of land that you'll be
Land you have
looking at.
to. Yep.
Yeah. Then there's one thing I need to point out. You know, when you are running a farm, maybe chicken or cattle or goats at your backyard, is a different ball game. The management is different ball game from having a large number on the farm.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the one you have at your backyard, you don't employ people to do it. You wake up, you do it to your own taste, you do everything. But the one you turn into business is a different ballgame. You have people that you entrust everything on. These people have their target, what they want to make of you.
Yes.
And at times they calculate what you are making in their mind, even if you are losing. So they want to get out of that too.
Yeah.
So the whole psychology and the mindset of Nigeria is another thing. So you need to get into that. And when you get into the big picture of having a big farm, then you have to land and visit some local farm that have passed through the same thing. That's what I did. Apart from having the farms that around the Europe that have already established, so things that I now look into the farm that are already established, not the all these multinational company farms or foreign,
Yeah.
the one that people like you and I that have passed through all the troubles.
Yeah.
So that is the one you can visit and make friends with the owner. So he will be able to come out and tell you that, come, it's not like this is the way I do it. This is the way things done.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've even learned from a true farmer, someone that's actually gone through the stress of farming is that they're always willing to help because they don't want someone else to
Yes.
go through the same thing they
Yeah.
passed through,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yes.
it's very important that
Yeah.
create that network of farmers where,
E-
you know,
Exactly. I will be happy to talk to anybody. It is not about talking about the success.
mm,
Let's even talk about the failure because we
yeah,
learned a lot from our failure.
mm,
From the, if I tell you something, I bought some when I started. I bought 20. I started with 20, around 27 cows.
mm,
One, I think 4 bulls or so, making 29
yeah,
altogether.
yeah,
Out of these, when they brought it to, I got them from the north. When when they brought it to Ibadan, where my family is, half of these half of these cattle died.
wow,
So, but we later realized the reason. So these are the things that one needs to know.
mm,
So after that, I got involved. I always go to Nigeria every 2 to 3 months,
yeah,
just to. But it yield results. But at the same time, I'm still learning.
learning, yeah.
So I'm still learning. So you
Even
need
even
to get a
even
proper
big
land.
farmers, big
Yeah.
farmers, even here, for instance, where I am in Canada, they still learn no matter how big they are.
Oh yeah.
Because anything farming there's so many aspects of farming that, like natural disaster, there's nothing you can do about.
There's nothing you can
There's
do. There,
anything can happen.
like in Nigeria, there was outbreak 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cattle dies, both in the
Mm,
north and the southwest. So a lot of people suffer. Those people that make money from it are those these butcher people,
yeah.
because they will just come to you. The cow that worth maybe 200,000, they will say, "Oh, this is 50,000 naira." So,
Mm,
but but one thing is, if we want to make money from the cattle farming, we need to invest big in it.
yeah.
That's one thing I learned, and I learned in a very hard way.
Mm.
So you need to be able to prepare for their feeding during the dry season.
Wow, that's they are big animals. They are not
Oh, they are big. These are not goats. They eat a lot. Your source of water must be. You don't just have one bowl and think you are okay. The
Mhm.
ball can just break down anytime. Most especially the
Yeah.
ball in Nigeria, they are useless. So you need to get borehole and make sure you have dam,
So
because
with the feeding, what how do you go about it? Do you buy feed for them or do you grow your own? Because I know, like
you
here,
know,
for instance, they grow some
yeah,
you have farmers
that
that
is
that's all they do, right?
that
You know,
is where we need to get to in Nigeria. We need to grow AIDS in Nigeria. We need to do all these things, because if you don't do it, you will suffer a lot.
mm,
You would think you are saving money, that okay, they can graze it, they can graze all these animals, but it's not the best. By the time they go, you drive them away, you graze them for like 5 kilometers, they eat, they come back. By the time they are coming back, they've burned everything again.
bonded, yeah.
So is they are not putting on the weight that you require. So you need to. It costs a lot of money, because if you talk to all these today and everything, they will tell you to plant 1 acre of bracharia is a lot of money.
Mhm.
But if you do it, it's not something that you do once and you do the same thing next year. As long as you maintain it, it can be there for years.
For years, yeah.
So, so that is one thing we need to invest in.
Mm,
We need to invest on the feeding and know how to preserve it, so that during the dry season you wouldn't need anything. Your cow don't need to go around miles, kilometers to go and feed.
mm.
So, and that will even save you from losing some of your cattle. I will tell you one of my experience, and I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, get cassava peel,"
Mhm.
but cassava peel is very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not good for the animal. It's not good for animal consumptions, because you don't know how dry it is. You don't know, and these people will not tell you the truth. They want to just sell their cassava peel to you. You don't know how they preserve it.
How they
And at
pre
times, when they sell it to you, you bring it home, you put it in your storage and everything. That thing will be losing values, or quality and everything. By the time you give it to your
The
animals,
nutrients and everything would
they cause
it
a
would
lot of
cost.
trouble.
Mm.
Personally, for now, I would rather my animal would rather stay hungry than giving them cassava peel because it's not the best. I last week my one of my farm attendants did something, so they brought some cassava peel to farm, and I told him, said, "Oh, we just need to that we've put something molasses on." I said, "Come, listen, don't give it to. There are certain animals that I know they are a bit exotic on farm. Don't give it to them. Okay, let's try it with this one." And every animal that this guy fed the cassava peel to started almost died the following day.
Mm.
So those people that we did not feed the cassava peel to, they were fine. Everything was fine. I told you that this thing, when we explained the same thing last year. So now on my farm, we've already ruled out the cassava peel because it could be good for some others, but for me, it's not good. And I spoke to a friend in Abeokuta. He said, no, he has completely ruled out all this idea of cassava peel that people just want to sell their product, but it's not good. And there is no nutritional value in
In
giving
it.
cassava peel to animals. So back to the when how to start it. By the time you start your this thing, you need to know the breed you
Yeah.
want on your farm.
Yes.
You need to know the reason why you is it for the meat productions or you want to just be doing fattening. You know, all these fattening, all these people that are into fattening, what they do is you go there, you buy the cows or bulls, you bring them to farm, you feed them for like 3 months, and you set them off.
And you sell.
So that one is another thing. But if you are into breeding, you need to know the kind of cows you want, you the kind of bulls you want. You need to be careful because this is not the thing that is something that is going to be in your farm for like 3, 4, 5 years. So, and you need to know how to structure your farm
Mm.
so that when you bring some animal in, where to keep them in order to isolate them for certain number of days before they mix into the.
They
These
mix
are
it.
the mistakes. Yeah, I make this mistake when I started because when I started, I what I do is that I'll just go to all these. I go array Shaki, get the things and bring them and put all of them together, not knowing that some of the cattle I'm just bringing in, some of them have foot rot,
Mm.
and this is contagious. So this is just turned like a wildfire on farm. So
Mm.
I end up spending a lot of money to stop all these outbreak on farm. So,
Um,
so these things you need to when you are bringing your animal in, you need to put them somewhere where you know that isolate them for maybe 14 days or so. When you're sure that they are okay, they are not carrying any disease, then you can release them into your these things. So after you select the breed that you want, because in cattle there are different breeds.
different
In
breeds.
the Nigerian language, they will say, "Oh, Gudale, Bokolo, Yankasa."
Yeah.
So you need to know those ones that you want. I personally prefer Gudale because
Mm.
they are similar to Brahman that we have in
Okay.
Canada, US, and here. They are almost the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just that those ones are bigger.
Mm.
So and I have these because one of the things I have in my head is that maybe in future I can get the semen from the Brahma from US and do this artificial
And
insemination for them.
insemination. Yeah.
So that we improve our home
Breed.
Gudale.
Mm.
So but the product will be better. It's not going to be as big as the Brahman, but it's not going to be as poor as Gudale.
Mm.
So these are the things. Once you know what you want to do, because all these animals they have their own advantage. Like Gudale is good for the meat productions, and
Yeah.
Yankasa is very good in the meat milk production.
Milk. Yeah.
So and Gudale is very I don't know, not wild animal. They are not. They don't attack people. You can play with it,
Mm.
so you can move closer. But all these Yankasa, if they get annoyed, you don't want to get closer to them. So you need to know the breed that you want. You need to know what you want them for. So after that, what you need to get the management, those people that will manage them for you. Once you acquire the enough land, then make sure you plant um, grass for them.
Yeah.
And once you have that done, that is, you are sorted as far as the cattle farming. So, and you get them because management is very important because you are not going to be able to do it. You are not going to be sleeping on farm. You are not going to be the one. You need a vet doctor or animal scientist that will be looking at them.
Yeah.
If you get the wrong person, don't be shied away from sacking such a person.
Yeah.
So don't just get so you manage, you do this. You are not good for business. You are not running. You are not blood ties. It's only your family that you. So, but when this thing is now ongoing, now try to be making friends with other farmers around
Other
you.
farmers.
That is very important. Shared ideas. If
Mm.
there's any outbreak somewhere, one will know what you don't know.
Yeah.
If there is anything like now, I just spoke to someone today that I have this problem with cassava peel. He now said, "Wait a minute, something like that happened when I fed my animal also cassava peel." And I said, "Oh, come, you want to check it?" And he said, "Okay." So he called me back just before we start the program and said that he still has up to 45 bags of cassava peel in the story that he has told them to throw them away
Mm.
because he just realized that it's the major cause of the
That's a
problem.
big
And the same thing
problem.
is happening to me. But if you talk to a lot of people, even animal scientists, they will tell you, "Oh, you can give cassava peel to your animals." But that is cassava peel that is well processed.
Mm.
If it's not, cassava peel is poison to animal. So that is the advantage of having like-minded, people who are in the business with
Mm.
you. So you share the ideas, you know what is going on around. Then if there's any outbreak somewhere, you know, if there is a way to, some people will even give you the information about the market.
Yeah.
That, oh, this is the best time to sell if you have a bull that you want to sell, this is the best time to. So you know when to sell, you know when to acquire, if you need to acquire some animals again on your farm. By and large, it's been a very, very good business because in Nigeria, we cannot even produce up to 10% of the meat we consume in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You will be surprised that more than
So
90%
that,
come
and
from all
that's
this North Africa.
and even that's even with the with our not part of the nuts doing being the main producers of these animals.
Even, hey, let me tell you, even the North, it's not that the North produce this animal. They travel to Niger Republic, Chad to get there. They don't produce
They
animal
don't.
in North. They import it.
So
Recently,
we basically
Buhari
yeah.
was saying that
Mm.
there is going to be, they cleared the border to the Chad and everything. I know a lot of people won't understand why. Because we don't produce anything, not even what we eat.
Mm.
The meat doesn't come from the north. What they do is that they go to Niger, they get it. Some of them travel to Chad because all of them speak the same language.
The same language, yeah.
So they go there. When they bring it there, you go to the north. North, you won't see many people with ranch or anything there. And to make the matter worse, these people they do come into Nigeria on foot with their
Yeah.
animals. So if you know people that can travel to get you, who knows the business, then it's good for you.
Mm.
And one thing that's another frustration that I faced when I started, and which kind of mistakes. I started at the same time with a friend of mine. That the guy is in US. I was investing in the cattle that are younger. I was buying the cattle range between 50 to 70,000 naira.
Okay.
Yeah. So which are not that big.
Mm.
But the beauty and the joy of every farmer is to, most especially when you go into breeding, is to see your animals reproducing.
Yes.
But when you invest in such, when you buy the cattle for like 50 to 70,000 and you bring that to farm, you are not likely to get any result for the next 2 years. And that is frustrating.
So you'll be the one feeding. So
You
cost of
continue to
feeding is
feed them because one, they need to get to certain body size before they get pregnant.
so like what range do you
So,
or what
you know,
type do you would
that's
advise
what I
someone
want
to
to
buy?
put. Like now, when you now, there are some cattle. If you are it depends. If you are, I'm only telling you my own frustration
Yes,
because
that's
my
why we're
idea
here.
was, my idea was just to buy it and within a year to be seeing some cows in my farm. But that was just a dream.
And that
So
didn't happen.
I need to re-strategize and I see what happened. And I spoke to a friend that we started at the same time. When we started, he bought some like mine, which is 50,000, 60,000, not too small, not too big, but they are not ready. They won't be ready to get any cow for the next 18 months.
Mm,
But he bought another size. He bought different size. He bought some for 120, which are mature, already matured, some for some for 140, 150, which one of the cows that he bought, he did not know that the cow was even pregnant. So within 6 months, that got pregnant. That
mm,
give is not that you have a financial gain on anything, but there's this psychological satisfaction that you are doing something
actually.
right
Mm,
when you start seeing the cow on your farm.
mm,
So he called me and he was like over the moon that, oh God, I have the first cow. So I
mm,
went to my phone, I look at them, I said, oh God, when am I going to have mine? So
wow.
so it was just difficult when you don't invest because the cattle farming is about the more you invest, the quicker you get your returns
Your
or
returns. Mm,
and if you don't invest, you are not likely to get anything. You can
mm,
even lose those animals.
mm,
So so when you buy a bigger cattle, which are ready to mate or ready to, so you are likely within 9 months, you are likely to be seeing some cows on your farm, which
mm,
will be joined, which will be a kind of sort of satisfaction and just let you know that you're doing something right. You know, recently I tried to increase the number of my cattle, so I stopped buying those young ones.
young one.
Those young one I bought that time now, like almost 10 of them is pregnant. I'm now likely to be seeing some cows on farm by January, February. But now I now bought another set, which are bigger. Now, when you look at them, you just feel like, oh, this is how farm should look.
Mm,
Because some of them are they are pregnant, some of them are looking as if they're pregnant. So you you will be having the joy that you are doing something that is right and or you will be seeing profit, even not financially, but at least in terms of your animal multiplying on farm, you will be
yes.
happy to be seeing them. So it's actually good thing, and is when you have the passion for it, you you can't go wrong when you
Mm,
invest in it in the right way.
mm, mm.
So
All
and you
right.
speak to the people.
Wow, thank you. That's
Yeah.
that's really lots of information for us. We're so grateful to have you on, like I said before.
Yeah. Okay.
So the other thing I want to talk to you about is that so for instance, if I'm a new person who wants to get into this, you've
Yeah.
advised to, that you've given us some advice already, but can you like cap it up that okay, I come to you, uh I want to start. How do what's the land size do I go for? What because I know definitely I need to have
Yeah.
space for my cow. I need to have
Yeah.
space for the feeding, which is plantation of the grass and things like
Yeah.
that. So what
Yeah.
land size would you advise a person to that's just new getting into and doesn't is not, someone that is with millions of naira and
Okay.
everything, but wants to, start.
Okay. Yeah. About that one. one thing I would like to clear is that no amount of land is too much for the cattle,
Yeah.
but you can have the land that is too small.
That's true.
So
That-
it depends on how the amount, how much you have.
yeah.
But at the same time, I will not discourage anybody, even if you have a plot
Mm.
that you want to. The only thing is, even if you have a plot, the only thing you need to do is that how are you going to get what is going to be source of feeding?
For the soft feeling.
Because you cannot have a plot of land. You say you want to have 10 cows on it. Where are they going to eat? So you need to look for. If you can't find any source of feeding for them, then you are likely to turn nuisance
Mm.
because you will need to be dragging those animals out every day, looking for food, grazing all around. So, but if you can, if you get that land, maybe let's say you get like 2 acres of land in a village, and 2 acres of land you want to have like animals, or you want to have like 25 cattle on it. It's okay, but that 2 acres of land, your animals will have the access to other people's land.
Yeah.
Hope they are not farming on it, which
Mm.
they can graze on.
Reason, yeah.
So, because to tell people that, oh, you need to have 20 acres, 30 acres of land, you are just discouraging people to come in it.
Mm.
Even if you have a plot, but if you notice that in the area where that you have, maybe if you have 1 acre, sorry, if you have 1 acre in a village, and you notice that that village, there's no much farming going on around there. And
Mm.
one thing you need to do is that when you buy land in a village for this kind of business, make friends with all the head of the and that all the
Yeah.
head of the village
The
around
villages,
there.
yeah.
Be
Yeah.
friendly with them, even if there is anything, they will have access to you. They can call you. A lot of people that run my farm now, they do call me. At times, even that if the call even annoy you, you just pretend that you are enjoying their conversation. So that is because they have different mindset.
Yeah.
But you will be gaining from it because something that they're supposed to charge you for and said, oh, your cattle came into my farm, I'm going to charge you 100,000. They'll say, we jointly own this thing. You give them the sense of belonging into your farm.
Mm. Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's just it. But you don't, I can't put a cap on the size of land, but what I need is the vicinity whereby you are having it.
Okay.
If the people that are hostile, even if you have 100 acres, you have problem.
Mm.
If you people, okay, let me give you another example. On my farm, the cattle one, we have 200 acres when we started.
Mm.
Because we had a bad relationship with all the village around there, we had a lot of problem.
Mm.
Until when we now sort it out and everything, they will even go and call all these people who attend to my cattle and said, "Oh, are you not bringing them out to come on?" Because they even invite us now to come and graze on their own land.
Graze on the land.
That's what the fact we have 200 acres. So you need to you need to have the good relationship around the village
Mm.
that you are. If you have 1 acre, you are good to go to start.
Mm.
Just just have the very, very cordial relationship with them. And once in a while, when you go there, you give these people something and
Yeah.
they will appreciate you. And whenever the problem arises, they will sort it out.
Mm.
They won't even bother you. So I won't put, because to say that, oh, you need to have 20 acres, you need to have 10 acres, is discouraging people from going
Mm.
into it. If you have 2 plots, what you have to do is that be realistic with yourself. How am I going to fill them? So if you know that there is a way you can feed them, then you are good to go with 2 plots.
Mm.
What they will need to do is that you bring them back, you you just house them there. In the morning, they graze. So it's not the best, but with you can grow it. Because you that you have 1 acre, people around the village will be telling you, oh, we want to sell this, come and buy it. On the other farm that I have, I started with 2 acres. Now, people around the village, you say, oh, they want to sell this beside you, 1 acre, you had it. Oh, they want to sell this. Now
Mm,
it's growing up to 6, 7 acres.
mm,
So the other one that is now 200 acres, we started with 50 acres. People will be coming to you, oh, they want to sell 10 acres. So you have to start somewhere. You don't have to be on the same level
on
with
the
the
same
people that,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to say that you must have certain number of land, it will be very discouraging. It depends on how you want to practice. If you
Mm,
want to practice intensive, you need to have a large number of, you need to have a very large land. But if you don't, if you think you just want to rough it and get on your feet, then even with 2 acres, you're good to go. So that's just it.
yeah. There you go, guys. You've heard it
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Kolawole's out. You just have to start somehow. You have to
You
start
just have to
somewhere.
start. You
Yeah.
don't look at people with 100 acres, 200 acres. You will never start.
Mm,
You will never. Just be sure that okay, the facility you are having your land is good for this.
yes.
Even if you want to start, because we've been talking about this intensive care and everything, but not all of us can afford it now
Mm.
because it costs a lot of money to
Oh
establish.
yeah. The
You
structure
have to,
alone is a
yeah, the
lot of
structure, the loan, the
money. Yeah.
and if you want to start, visit a lot of farm around you that have already got to somewhere
Mm,
because this is another where I waste a lot of money. You put on a particular structure today, maybe 6 months later, you realize that you made a mistake. You need to
mm,
just adjust this, dismantle some and waste some, and so
mm.
that's just it. So,
So guys,
so
you can join the conversation. Sorry to cut you off
yeah.
there. You can join the conversation as well. You can like or share on Facebook and YouTube. Our topic today basically is about cattle production. And I have a question on here from Sam, and he says, "How many cows per acre do you have local breed to sell, and how much?"
Yeah, we like I said, how many cows per acres? And now in the Western world, there's a way they calculate it, that cows per acre. But what they calculate cows per acre is they will tell you the number of cows that graze on a particular acres.
Yeah.
If you want to do that in Nigeria, in Africa, you will have to, the whole of Ibadan will be using maybe 500 acres
Yeah,
because
yeah, that's
you
true.
have to, but when you have a very good system that you plant your grass and you try to make haze, you store it, so all these things will not matter
Okay.
because you have in fact, there are some of these cows that will always be indoor, so we just be feeding them where
Mm,
they are. So,
mm,
and someone asked about the selling the local breed. I actually deal with Gudale, which is some people call Bokolo. That's the one
mm.
I said that is all those one with no horns on them.
Yeah, no
So
one's
I
on them
need
yet.
to, yeah, those are the ones that I have a bit of some of the Yankasa. So, but I prefer those Bokolo.
And he
So,
also wants to know if you sell and how much it is.
yeah, I do sell, but not it depends on who wants to, what you want to. If you want to use it for farming, that's another thing. If you want to use it for maybe a party or anything, so selling of cattle depend on the size.
On the
So
size.
you can't say.
Um.
Assuming I show you the picture now, I will tell you that, oh, this is the price for this.
Oh, okay. So,
Mhm.
what we'll do is that before the show ends, we're going to get your contact, so we have it on
Okay.
screen as well, so that someone like Sam can give you a call,
Okay.
maybe
Okay. Yeah,
talk to you.
that's true.
Yeah. So I also have another question from Ogunfunwa Deji Samuel. who says you're making a lot of sense, sir. Please, what breed of cow would you recommend for breeding and one for fattening? Which period of the year is good for stock?
Yeah, it's the fattening. I will recommend Yankasa. Those
Mhm.
one with the horn, and the reason is this: they don't have layers on their skin.
Yeah.
When you buy them, this is what I used to do uh, when I was in school. I'll go to the market. I will buy all these malnourished cow. It's a risk. So when you will be seeing their ribs, so
Ribs,
I'll bring
yeah.
them in. So I will start feeding them. I have a friend, or one of my dear friend. He was an animal scientist. He
Mm,
used to help me compound the food and the feed for them. And within 3 months, the the maybe bull that I bought like that was then 30,000. I'll
mm,
return it to the market with extra 15, 20,000 on it because it's not that I did something extraordinary. That bull is not being well
yeah,
um,
managed.
managed before.
Mm,
So what the only thing I do is just bring it home, deworm it, and give the proper food. So the feel that is consumed. So within 2, 3 months, the real size of that, all the weight that he has lost, everything will just come in. So you
mm,
can put it back to the same market, and they won't even know that they sell it. They are the one that sold it to you.
mm,
So that is Yankasa. They are very, very good when you feel them. They
mm.
come out. I'm talking about those one with horns.
Horns,
But
yeah.
those one with what do you call it? Bokolo, the one with no horns.
Mm,
When they get big, they are very beautiful. But
mm,
because they have layers of skin, they are
yeah.
not. You can't do any all these crash course for them on feeding. It takes
Mm.
time for them
Takes
to
time.
yeah
Proper
to now
takes
get
proper
into it.
management.
Yeah,
You need to
no,
manage
it takes
well.
time. It takes time. If you are going into fattening that you just want to buy and sell within 3 months, go for Yankasa.
Mm,
Because if you go for Bokolo, it takes time. You can't do that. It won't work because of the layers of their skin. So fattening, Yankasa is good for the fattening. Then for breeding, I prefer Bokolo. Some people
mm.
might not agree with me. So that's my own opinion anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That we understand that. That and that's why we are all we're here to just share, our experiences with each other.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. As I also have the questions are coming in now. I have Rashida Chitu who says thank you so much, sir. I'm a mother, wife, and I have interest in this, but I am scared of theft and Fulani around, sir. Then who do I need to contact, and what particular is a good to start with, or probably what type of breed is good to start with? How do I feed them, sir? If you've been listening to the show, Rashidat, he's mentioned a lot of you know advice on how to start, how to feed them, and things like that. But I'm also still going to let him probably just brush on it. So, what do you say about that, sir?
Yeah, that's one thing you need to consider. We've talked about that. We need to consider
Yep.
feeding before we go into this thing because they eat a lot of food. So it depends on where you want to keep them. If you are keeping them in the village, you you'll be thinking of grazing them because you are just starting. You don't have that enough of money to. But if you want to keep them at home, then you need to contact all the other people that can and ask how they source for their own things,
Feed.
which is not going to be good because
Mm,
you will need to be spending a lot of money to feed these
money
things.
to feed them.
But you need to get your land at the appropriate place, not the residential area
Mm,
where people that just get them in a village where even if you don't have money, you have someone that can just graze them around and bring them back. So that's just it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Also, Ibrahim Usman Wasil has something to say. I have white Fulani cows. Is that what you call Yankasa? So
The Yankasa are the one with the horns.
okay,
They're usually white.
okay, yeah. So is that he's trying to know if it's the same thing as the
Yeah,
white Fulani cow?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right, there you go. I would like to compound feed for them. What do you recommend as a formula for feed? And
yeah.
also, can I get foreign breeds from you?
You know about the formula for feed. You need to contact your animal nutritionist. So those one will give you They will look at your. They will look at it and give you the appropriate feed
Okay.
formulation that is good for you. Because one, there is a feed for animal that you are expecting for fattening. There is a feed. There's another feed for animal that you are expecting for breeding.
Hmm.
There is another formula for another what do you call it, that is breastfeeding also. So you need to know. You invite the expert into your farm or to come and check on your these things, and they will they will tell you and advise you this is what you need to do. So if it doesn't work, then you can
Okay.
contact so
All right. Maybe we should just have your contact now on so that we can have that scroll on the screen. Uh,
okay.
so can we get that so that, or do you
Let
have a,
me
if you have a website, whatever, just we can
Yeah,
have
I'm
that.
working on my website, but
Okay.
at the moment, I will give you my Nigeria number.
Okay. And
So
that has WhatsApp as well. I believe that's what
it has
most.
so it's easy to get me on WhatsApp. That's the best way
Okay.
to get
All
me.
right. Cool.
Let me. This is a 090
So that'll be 0.
090
Okay.
856
856 89
774.
774. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly repeat that. That's 09085
That's it.
All right, cool. I'll have that
So
on screen there. So
yeah,
guys,
they
I'll
can
have
easily get me on WhatsApp.
yeah, I'll have Kolawole Bashir's number on screen. So in case you have any other questions you want to ask him, because I know I don't want to keep you for too long because you said you have something else to do, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I just need to start
I
driving now.
remember
I
that.
really,
So
I'm just
I
even looking at the,
we're
but
going to
I'm enjoying it because I want to come back and learn from
no,
you as well.
you're
I'm still
definitely coming
learning.
back.
Believe me,
You're
I'm
definitely
still
coming back.
learning. Yeah,
You're going to come back on the
yeah,
show. We'll be able
yeah.
to talk much better because you're one of the guests that I just don't want to go as well because there's a wealth of information that I'm even learning from
Oh,
you and
yeah,
everything. So
I will have to be. I will have to learn a lot from
yeah,
each other because
yeah.
I have a sheep section
Hmm.
that is another ball game.
And
So,
that we also need to talk about that.
so maybe
So
some other time.
yeah, so guys, we're very sorry. We're gonna have to let Mr. Kolawole Rochelle go because
All
he
right.
has other engagement. He was just you can see where he's calling from in the
Yeah,
dark in his car, and I'm very sure it's cold over there as well.
this is
so,
Christmas period.
so
We are in
yeah,
winter.
so we don't want to keep him for too long. Thank you so much for
All
calling.
right. Thank you
I
for
would
having
have
me.
your number on screen now,
All right.
so that they can contact you as well. And I'm also going
All
to
right.
get in touch with you on that number as well. So
Okay.
that
Just
we
just send me any message to me on WhatsApp there.
okay. All right,
I'll
cool.
reply. All
All
right.
right,
Thank
will
you
do.
very much.
Thank you so much, and
All
have
right. I really
a
appreciate it.
Merry Christmas and
And same to you.
Happy
All
Day in
right.
advance as well.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. All right, guys. We're so sorry that we had to, let him go because he has other prior engagements. Um, we're going to bring him back again, definitely, and we're going to be able to talk better. We'll look for a much better time for him to, to talk to us. And also, we're going to be looking into going to his farm sometime soon so that we can let you see how his structures and everything is set out Thank you so much for joining the show today. We're glad that we're able to bring farmers with like minds together on the show, and we're able to talk about the a better way to start farming. And always remember, whatever you do, without farmers, there's no food. So let's get back to farming. Let's do it right, and let's you know keep the conversation going. And also remember to like, subscribe, and share to your friends, to to view and things like that. And also on YouTube, make sure you click on the notification button so that anytime we have a new show coming up, you'll be notified. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you enjoy your holidays. And this is Ayo signing out once again. And I'll see you same time next week. Cheers. Have a nice day. Bye.